I am Alice Johnson from Gailan District, a super app champion for Foundations project.
Foundations project has 3 implementing partners: IRC, PPSL, and DROMACARE.
Overall, the project intervention from 2022 until 2024 August, we have actually established all our intervention within the 40 communities of implementation in the LEONE district. Additionally, within those interventions, we have colleagues within the office that are implementing activities that are adolescent-led, that are health workers-led, that are led by the women and girls organizations, that are also led by the Real Father sessions. Additionally, within those particular structures, the establishment of the community task force members, the establishment of the adolescent sexual and reproductive health and rights mobile app, the women and girls organizations, the teachers organizations, and also the Girl Shine community mentors. All of the structures are within these 40 implementing communities to ensure that the interventions in increasing the adolescent sexual and reproductive health and rights is actually achieved. So within all the structures, there are different roadmaps, there are different action points, there are different plans that have been set for which they are within to ensure that they are achieved. Within this particular year, we have also ensured that the project advisory committee at the district level, normally called the DPAC, constitutes the heads of the different government organizations from the DHMT, from the Ministry of Gender, from the Ministry of Education, and also with the community stakeholders. Includes the community paramount chief has also been established with effective technical interventions within their parts to ensure that most of the barriers that the projects encounters are actually being addressed and supported with. Also, within the governance structures, we've also established the project steering committee at national level that involves all the ministers from the different line ministries, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Gender, and also technical individuals from different departments, which includes the Sierra Leone Police, which includes the Legal Aid Board, and other technical leads. So within all the structures, the meetings have been held and the technical support has already been provided as we progress towards the different interventions of the projects.
Let's talk about outcome 1100 that speaks about decision making.
Within the 1100 pillar, there are key activities that forms the output of this particular pillar. Within the implementation for the first 3 years of our intervention, we have already trained over 400 teachers to ensure that they implement the child and adolescent health life skills curriculum. This particular curriculum focuses on the right gender-based transformative approach and also looking at the implementation of the sexuality for our in-school adolescent boys and girls. These teachers has been trained to ensure that they roll out this particular curriculum, looking at the different classroom sections to ensure that the children themselves, the adolescents themselves, understand about their body, about their rights, and about their sexuality. So overall, all the teachers has been trained with manuals that have been produced to ensure that they are effectively monitoring and also implement the curriculum as scheduled.
With people that not be the talk say then the girl children very important in the community. But right now we save the children don't go. We don't know about good touch and bad touch.
Since the start of the Foundations project, we learned about good and bad touch through trainings provided by Save the Children. Before now, boys in our communities used to touch our girls on their breast and buttocks, which is very bad because they are below the age. Since then, the project has changed, help us to understand about the importance of a girl child in society. If you educate a girl, you have educated a nation.
We don't teach one girl pikin, you don't teach the nation at large.
Within the 1100 as well, the intervention of our adolescents to ensure that they learn about the reality of what is within the different health facilities has also been conducted. Within our implementation here, over 20,000 both adolescents, VOIA and OA boys and girls have had exchange visits to the different health facilities to have a first-hand interaction with all the health workers to ensure that they understand the different services that have been provided within these particular health facilities, talking about contraceptive, talking about post-abortion care and many other services that deem necessary for our adolescent boys and girls to increase their adolescent sexual health and rights. The Girl Shine curriculum or intervention has been rolled out by our international partner IRC.
Foundation project basically works towards adolescent sexual reproductive health, so adolescents can have knowledge, marginalized girls, that they can be empowered through knowledge on their sexual reproductive health. So as IRC, as part of our implementation as partners, we work with adolescent girls who are out of school between the ages of 10 and 19. We work with them across 40 communities in this implementation through our Girl Shine intervention.
Within the 1100, the fathers has been on board to ensure that they work closely with our adolescents to increase their sexual health and rights. Facilitators from all the 40 communities has been trained on the Real Father curriculum, looking at understanding fatherhood, getting themselves involved in their children's life, drugs and abuse, and how to communicate with their peers.
I have done training in Real Fathers in all the communities, the 40 communities we have been working, we are targeting. I have done training for the Real Fathers facilitators as well as the Real Fathers, both married and unmarried, in the communities for the past years.
And additionally, within the 1100 pillar, reaching our audience through the communication and behavioral change information has also been established, wherein we have been doing different radio discussions and also to support all our International Day intervention that has to do with 16 days of activism, intervention that has to do with the Day of the Girl Child, and intervention that has to do with the Women and Girls or the International Women's Day in all the 40 communities.
Take a look at our achievements in Outcome 1200 that speaks about adolescent sexual reproductive health and rights.
The 1200 outcome is geared towards strengthening the health facilities infrastructure to ensure that we provide gender responsive and adolescent services to all our targeted adolescents, looking at the ASIH and SGBV activities. Within the particular pillar, we have established and renovated 15 health facilities, looking at the infrastructural gaps, fixing up the different infrastructural gaps within these health facilities, and also providing equipment that will ensure that these services have quality equipment that will improve our health facility services. Within those particular structures, we've already handed over medical equipment, for example, cold chain, the immunization cold chain that looks up around the vaccines, and also the furniture that will be within those particular health facilities. Additionally towards that, all these items have been handed over officially through the district medical officers in the presence of the different adolescents and the in-charges in all the health facilities, and they are within the structures being in use. Adolescent has been trained and provided with accurate information using the digital platform through the Android mobile phone with a mobile app, My Body Na Me Rights, as we can usually call My Sexual Health and Rights. Within our implementation years, over 15,000 of these adolescents has gained access. The champions within this particular platform will reach out to their peers in this community, and they will have sessions understanding the different topics that are within this particular platform. Topics related to puberty, sexual health and rights, teenage pregnancy, STI and contraceptives. Adolescents now have the idea, or they have the confidence to speak about their body, to take decisions on issues that are affecting them.
This is what Foundations Project says. Me body na me right.
Based on the needs assessment to ensure that adolescents gained accuracy in terms of information and in terms of services, the health workers within the different health facilities in the communities has also gained numerous trainings related to stock management or supply chain management, waste management, CLMS, and also LAC.
In terms of foundation, wetin we can tell the adolescents in the project, because since we dey na the health side, we dey deal with sexual reproductive health issues then.
In terms of Foundations project, since I'm in the medical field, we've discussed about sexual reproductive health rights issues to the adolescents and the women. We've also informed them about their sexual activities by paying attention to the risk factor during sex. Working with women and adolescents aged 12 to 39 years had aided us to understand the difficulties faced in stopping them from sexually active. But for those who have not yet had sex, we encourage them to abstain because of the risk factors that are surrounded. We also educate them on family planning through schools and community outreaches, talking to them about ASRH issues. In my district, teenage pregnancy seemed to be a major problem. Hence, we are educating them through Foundations project in line with the government's plans.
With teenage pregnancy, we find out say now one of the major problem na the district.
Advocacy is a key component when it comes to project implementation. Take a look at the 1300 indicator, which talk about improve on key stakeholders to advocate.
Pillar 1300 is geared towards enhancing the knowledge of women and girls to advocate for adolescents, for an increase in adolescent health services. Within this pillar, the establishment of the Women and Girls Group within all the 40 communities has been done with effective training on how best they can develop the advocacy plan and ensuring that the adolescents themselves have access to the different rights.
Over the years, the projects we done under implementation.
Over the years, Foundations project implementation in the Kailaun district is in line with the ministry's objective, which has been supported by Save the Children through the Foundations project. The capacity building we provide for women and girls to help them understand about gender and gender-based violence that affects women and girls in their communities. We also educate them about the laws that speak to SGBV, reporting channels, etc. Training of the women action groups in these 40 communities has seen some huge changes in our district. The government has now established a one-stop center to provide free SGBV services.
Because government, we don't establish what we call a one-stop center, also they provide GBV services free.
With the works then, you know say anything we with man can wait. It can't train una.
We as WAG representatives, trainings on the go has helped us build our capacity to recognize and identify various rights issues on SRHR and other issues that affect women and girls in our communities. We would like to see the sustainability of the project so that we can teach other women and girls in various communities. We want to tell the donors that the 6 years of the project is not enough for our children and women, and we would like to see it continue.
Enough, that 6 years is not enough for we beginning or for the woman themselves. So may they add more.
Tabagi, 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 tabagi.
Dr. Modupe Taiwo, now Program and Operation Director for Save the Children.
The Foundation's project forms 20% of the overall country portfolio in the last 2 years and have consistently delivered green KPI, especially KPI 01, with significant contribution to the green ratings of KPI 02, as an aggregate of the outlook of the country portfolio on a monthly basis. The country office has built a relationship with the Ministry of Health and Sanitation and the Ministry of Gender and Children Affairs. This relationship has become very valuable in view of the level of engagement and interaction that the foundation team have developed with the ministers and other government leaders in this ministry. The participation of the government leadership and the parliamentarians at PSC, the Project Steering Committee, had also played a key role in the recognition of Save the Children's contribution to the passage of the Ending Child Marriage Law, which we are still celebrating, the successes in Sierra Leone. In the same way, at the community level, Foundation's project has made such a tremendous impact in shifting harmful social norms around adolescent access to sexual and reproductive health services, and also removing discriminatory gender practices. All the project stakeholders, especially girls, boys, women, and men, are showing evidence of positive behaviors and more supportive environments towards adolescents making SRH decisions. The contribution of the project to improved health systems towards provision of quality SRH services has been applauded by the Minister for Health, and particularly he recognized the significant renovation of the 15 health facilities in the project location in Kailaun districts, the provision of the medical equipment, particularly the donation of the cold chain refrigerators, which is contributing to saving lives agenda of the government. The cold chain that was donated is to improve routine immunization and to ensure quality services for improving maternal and child health in the district. In the same way, the contribution of the Foundation's project to climate resilient programming and resilient environments has also been recognized by the Department of Environmental Health in the Ministry of Health and Sanitation. And as a result of this, Foundation Project Lead occupies a seat on the National Climate Health TWG Technical Working Group. And so when discussions around the climate health impact and decisions on how this influence program implementation and taking a decision on improving, developing strategies for improvement, Foundation has a key contribution to that. Because Foundation Project is also implementing the formerly known Comprehensive Sexuality Education Curriculum, which is now known as National Comprehensive Adolescent and Life Skills Curriculum. This contribution had been recognized by the United Nations, the UNFPA in particular, and so Foundation is fully represented on the national coordinating units, which holds their meeting on quarterly basis. And at this fora, for Foundation's project, get a chance to share learning from our implementation approaches and modalities and the successes that we are seeing. And as a result of this learning have been cascaded at a wider level for other partners who have shown interest in implementing the same curriculum in other districts. And so people are reaching out to the Foundation's team to be able to learn the good practice of implementing the CALS curriculum, the challenges and the learnings, and now they are taking that forward to be able to implement in other districts. Overall, I would say that the foundation project is making significant progress in terms of its implementation according to the logic framework and the performance monitoring framework that we're using to monitor this project. And in terms of the annual reviews, we are seeing how the in-country consortium team are also contributing significantly to the successes that the foundation project is recording overall. The consortium meeting has been a space where successes are shared and celebrated, challenges and issues are raised and are addressed jointly, and we have seen significant progress in all of these spaces. So overall, at the country level, the foundations project is making very, very significant impact. And all important stakeholders are actually applauding the contribution of Save the Children to the national health agenda through the foundations project.
However, with all our implementation in these 40 communities, key challenge that is actually being faced within our implementation has to do with the road networks. The roads within the 40 communities are very bad and hard to reach. Our colleagues will need to ensure that implementation in these communities are effectively done during the dry seasons and light touch activities within the rainy season. Project team aims to ensure that we review all our past intervention, gather our lessons learned, and ensure that we move forward to the next steps. We will ensure that within our next steps, the implementation of our Year 5 interventions, that is putting together our annual work plan, putting together the budgets for submission and approval is also on the way. And additionally, the handing over of the remaining health facilities also will be part of our next steps. More interventions and monitoring with all our 40 communities will also be in place. That is, ensure that the mentoring sessions that we are having with the women and girls groups, the Girl Shine, the real fathers, the facilitators, and of course the task force members are also part of our plan. These are all geared towards ensuring that the ultimate outcome is actually achieved by the end of the project implementation.
My brother, from the beginning of foundation, there have not been girls in the streets following men for money, and there have not been too many prostitutes like them.
Yes, it is true, and there is more to come from foundation.
Watch out.
As a girl child, I should not be raped.
As a girl child, I should be educated.
As a girl child, I should not enter into early marriage.
This is what Foundations Project says.
Me body na me right.
Foundations Project is a living testament in Sierra Leone. Thanks to development partners.